Alrighty, this should be 19. So, my 19th personal little diary thingy. February 25th, Tuesday, 4:30ish at this point p.m. 2025. Today's been an alright day so far. Woke up, had some breakfast, and then started outlining and coloring the 2 TF sheets, or 4 TF sheets technically, 2 commissions, 2 TF sheets for both this morning. So I already finished the first commission, it was like the 2 TF sheets. So right now I'm on the third TF sheet for the second customer. So like the first TF sheet, I know it sounds so complex. So basically the third out of the 4 that I sketched out, that one's maybe like 25% outlined, I'd say. So did that. Downloaded GrimQuest. It's this little, it's a game I love. It's like a mobile game, and then they got it adapted to Windows. I didn't realize they did it like last September or so. So I was like, oh hell yeah, I have Steam funds, I'll buy it. You know, support Monomyth. I think that's how you say their name, developer. So because they made GrimQuest the first game, then they made a sequel to it around I think like 2022, 2023. No, 2022, 2021ish. They made Grim Tides, which was the prequel, but you know, the second game. And then I haven't checked out the new one. I already have it downloaded on my phone though. Grim Omen, which is like a sequel to Grim Quest. So I'm interested to see like what's gonna happen now, because I don't really read the lore of the story, but I know the basic parts of it. Like Grim Quest, you're just a lowly knight going to this like kingdom that used to rule over, you know, the lands. I kind of forgot the name of the place because it's its own established lore, you know, medieval time stuff. So, but the first game, you know, you're just a knight, and then you go to this random town, and they're looking for people to, you know, destroy what's called the Dark. It's basically like this mental. It's like think about every insecurity that exists in the world, and that's basically what the Dark is. Like manifestations of fear, rage, doubt, you know, all those negative emotions. It'd be, yeah, basically just the negative emotions. So basically overtaking the world along with, you know, other medieval creatures, beasts, you know, things of legend, normal stuff you'd see in a mythical story. So that's the first game. I know the ending, like basically after you defeat the like big bad of the Dark, which is like a manifestation of yourself. Like you lose your memory, and then not the cycle repeats, but you kind of go through like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go to this lonely town, just like you did at the beginning of the game. So, but like there's no dark manifestations that you have to face. So, and it kind of works in tandem with the game, because the whole point of it is facing your inner demons, or the Dark. So like after you beat the game, you no longer have to deal with the manifestation enemies like throughout your time, you know, in any of the bonus dungeons. And the bonus content is just, you know, side stories that don't really have too much to do with the Dark. Grimtide, not the sequel, it's the prequel. So yeah, it pretty much precedes the events that happened in GrimQuest. That one basically you're like a prisoner of war. For that one, like you can choose. It doesn't really affect much other than like gameplay, because you get like a starting bonus. So you can be like, oh, you used to be a religious person, so you have extra, you know, magic power, spell power, I think it is, yeah, spell power, or you came from a rich family, so you have inheritance. There's like different backgrounds, but they all kind of lead to the same thing where you're a captured prisoner. But the king is like, no, I'm not gonna kill you, just do my dirty work, kill all these guys I used to be friends with, and then I'll let you go. And then to like keep you there, because you're traveling islands in this one, then just like parts of the nearby world. So they place this thing called like a sigil. It's like a tattoo, and basically that's the not representation. What's the one I'm looking for? It's the replacement for the dark enemies that you normally face throughout your journey. So those kind of replace the demons that you have to face. So, but they're just like elemental enemies. So, I mean, later in a bonus dungeon, if you're lucky, because, you know, there's like an entire thing you can kind of miss. It's not told to you, but you can like enter the different elemental realms and fight like much harder versions of like the normal and like even some super bosses after the game. So, but basically you have to go out and kill all the disciples. After you do that, the king's like, haha, just kidding. You know, I'm gonna take over the throne. I didn't tell you that. Thanks for killing them for me, dummy. You know, no blood on my hands. And then thus that leads into the results of GrimQuest, which is like, because I think it's him, Sage Asmodeus or something like that. He is basically responsible for the dark even coming towards the world. Because he was like experimenting with like, I think eternal life or something like that. One of the two. So there was that. And after that, I think the game's just like, do whatever, so. And then Grim Omen, though, that's like the sequel, so I haven't touched that. I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it said on the description when I was reading it. You know, like, sequel, you play as a young vampire or something like that. I forgot. Ludling, Hedgeling, something like that, so. You know, I can only imagine it's probably going to get more complex, or, you know, grim. But I'm kind of interested to see it. So I can't wait for that. But I'd rather touch on GrimQuest and Grimtide first before I get Grim Omen done. So, aside from that though, nothing else really happened today. It's kind of just been relaxed, getting stuff done. You know, only thing I'd really do aside from just waiting to hear back from any place. But that's really all that can be done. Patience. Because things come to those who wait. I don't really miss using an 8-pound weight. It's not for me, or at least not yet, because my arm is still like a twig. I mean, I still have the muscle there, but I probably just don't eat enough. Either that or just, you know, repetitive use or something other than weightlifting. So, I don't know. I don't really feel like the gym's going to do much, at least for me. I mean, that's what everybody says, but when I go to the gym, it usually kind of improves their physique or, you know, their legs. They're toned, you know, torso, abdomen, things like that. So, I don't know. I don't really want to waste my time at the gym. I'm alright. If I can just work out at home, or at least just get my body active and then just sitting around, I'd gladly do that. I don't really think a treadmill, though, would ever replace just walking, you know, around the place or doing a mile, you know. I remember just running a mile for like 4 minutes. It was kind of chill. I don't really get how anybody could fail it unless you were actually, you know, disabled. But that's a little insensitive. I mean, all you really gotta do is just exercise. You don't even have to be good at the exercises. I mean, sure, like some, usually at the end of the year, they'd be like, do 50 push-ups. No, you're not doing it wrong, or you have to fix your posture. So, usually there's like 20 or 30 you have to do as a minimum. So, I mean, at least doing some is better than none. At least for me, that's how I view it. And then I know everybody kind of works at their own pace, or, you know, quirky way. So, that's neither here nor there. I think for the rest of the day, just gonna continue grinding out commissions. I'll probably take a break and like have some lunch in a bit. Play some more GrimQuest on the laptop. You know, I'm playing it on Grim difficulty, which is like the normal one, not Nightmare, because I'm just not used to the controls yet. But I'm doing well. I'm going back to that old build because the way that GrimQuest is set up, at least the first game, is you have different like methods. You know, you can approach combat. You can build your own, you know, set, build, whatever, you know. So, and as you progress throughout the game, you get more abilities or skills or passive skills that you can use to, you know, blast your way through enemies. So, like, you can set up an old magic spells build or one that's mainly focused on, like, the gunslinger, you know, weapons and abilities. Or you can have a mix of both. Or focus on, like, critical hits. Those ones are usually useful. Usually. I remember on the first playthrough that I ever did on the game, like, years ago, I was running that gunslinger one. Which isn't bad, because it has its 2 abilities. Like, at least in that class. But it does have, like, 3 passive abilities. I think the volley one is probably the best one, because that one stuns for 2 turns, which is pretty good. Especially because, like, I think, like, a year year after they uploaded the game, they had like additional settings. One of them was like advanced combat, which is just having 2 turns, every time it's your turn. So that's pretty good, and that applies to the abilities and the spells. So you can kind of just spam pretty much, like maybe after level 5, because you get 3 abilities at that point. So you can kind of rig the game in your favor. One thing you can't rig though is the dice game, and that thing is just rigged. But then again, any type of lottery or random chance minigame in anything and casinos, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the gold, it's not worth the money. Frankly, I'd rather just spend all my money at an arcade. At least I'm having fun. Then watching slots is boring. Or a roulette table or poker. The only times I know how to play poker is just Dead Rising, and that's a video game, and that's it. So that doesn't really count. At least to most people, it doesn't count. I think that marks the end of today's little self-reflective, time. It's been alright. It's been a good week so far. I hope it continues to remain that way. March is coming up though on Saturday, so new month. Time coming back way too fast. I'm just trying to keep up. But just gotta keep my head up. Continue doing what I'm doing. So may tomorrow be a good day. May today be the rest of a better day. And may everything around us get better. Yeah.